ACL Live. It's Mish here with Wally K9, and we have a lot to cover actually today, Wally. We have to go through the shootout coming up this weekend, and then we have yet another national coming up. So these nationals coming up quick, and so we're going to go through, what did we say? Doubles. Going through doubles.
Crazy thing is, it's the last national.
I know. And like we had like none, and then it was like boom, boom, boom.
Here we are.
Here we are. So yeah, lots of fun stuff to go through to pack into the show. Excited about this weekend and Minnesota. You know, so weird. Trey was saying that he's been to 38 states, but he's never been to Minnesota, and he's not going this weekend.
Oh, really? Skipping it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever been. I think I take it back. I think I went there for the Winter Classic when the Blues played the Minnesota Wild, and that was like negative 14 degrees outside. Woo! And that was fun for a little bit. Very cold for the rest.
Yeah, I would imagine. That reminds me, did you know that Milwaukee is outdoors?
The Open? I did not.
Like,
surprise.
I said, good to know. You know, I do have to like look good on TV, and being indoor versus outdoor is a big difference, people.
Yeah, no, I had no idea. But then again, I'm the type of guy though that I don't really pay attention to anything until it's like the day before. So like I know I don't have to check in for my flight till tomorrow, so I don't have any idea when I fly out Wednesday. So I'll look at it tomorrow and be like, all right, there's my alarm going off. Time to check in. I fly out 24 hours. Time to pack and get everything ready. So
time to pack. Oh my goodness, Wally.
Yeah. As you see behind me, I got all this stuff. So we did our 200 subscriber giveaway. So I got all these items. I'm messaging people, hey, pick your prize, because I'm trying to get it taken care of before Wednesday. And then like some people, I think I just messaged Tony's girlfriend. She won. She's like, I feel like I'm being bamboozled right now. I'm like, no, you legit won. Like, pick something.
It's real.
So I got to figure out how to get all these prizes out the door in 2 days. So. And then I didn't even know today's Juneteenth, whatever that is.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
So
yep.
Everything's closed.
Oh, things are actually closed?
Yeah, post office closed, banks are closed, everything.
Oh, I did not know it was okay. Got it.
Yeah, me neither. Until I was out there trying to mail stuff out.
In the dark. All right, so we are going to start with the shootout this weekend, and Bernie was supposed to be joining us today, but it's his birthday, so we wanted to give him the evening off to go celebrate. So I'm going to bring up Bernie's 5 to watch for the shootout. So this could be singles or doubles, and then Wally, I'll have you talk through what Bernie chose. They're all good people to watch, so let's bring it up and get into
see what
it.
I can do here.
What are you thinking?
All right, so right off the top, I mean, I felt like we had him on. You know, he was our first guest, by the way, on our show.
Oh yeah, he was our first guest. That's right.
I went through and I got the list of all the people that were on our show. So Devin Harbaugh, we kind of joked back and forth about where he belongs, the top 1, 2, 3 spot. Right now, he's holding down the number 1 spot. Shootout format, though, is kind of evading him, just like Mark Richards for a while there. I don't mind the pick of Devin Harbaugh, but I feel like he is one of these Eric Davis types that pros get in the way of pros sometimes. Just because you can make that difficult and that tricky shot doesn't mean you need to do it. Like there's times where it's like, okay, if I go board here, I give up 2, I'm in the lead with like 1 or 2 points left to go with 3 rounds. And I have faith in Devin Harbaugh hitting 12 after 12 after 12 to maintain that lead. But then he might try a risky shot. I'm not saying I've seen it happen, but sometimes just tone it down a little bit and win the game, make the broadcast, and then win the shootout. You know what I'm saying?
So you think that's what's getting in the way of finishing?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't had a chance to watch Devin very close, but I mean, these riskier type of players. I mean, Gavin Cano, Devin Harbaugh, Eric Davis. He's kind of like an anomaly last year with doubles. But I mean, like some of these players that are able to hit these trickier shots, they're almost impatient for the 10-round format. You know, they feel like they got to score 5, 6s, or 7s, and you really don't. You just have to score 2.
Right. Yeah, that's a valid point.
But definitely want to watch Devin Harbaugh. I'm very excited to see it. I haven't had a chance to look at who all's attending really yet, but Devin Harbaugh will definitely be in my top spot.
JBJ,
what can we say? The old number 1 and the new number 1 there, Justin Burton Jr. He's very consistent. Almost the flipping of the strategy, I guess, is the best way to kind of describe what I'm looking for this year. Is it went from all these sticky bag players to rolling last year. Kind of seemed like everybody was just blocking, rolling, and then hitting airmails when you have to. But now all these carpet bag throwers, they're throwing high 10s. sometimes 11 PPRs. I mean, they're going 30 rounds every single time. And the fact that they can just keep putting bags in the hole. We talked with Caleb Batson about it. And, I don't know what your list looks like, but he's on my list. Caleb Batson, another player from Texas, throwing carpet bags and high PPRs. That's something that I want to see.
Now, by the way, though, are you surprised at these names that they haven't won a shootout?
I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, we're what, shootout number 6? That means 3 more people are going to make it in.
Mm-hmm.
Players not on this list that are shocking to me. Not
wait till you see mine too, and you'd be like, "How are all these people not having a title yet?"
But I think that's just another thing that spoils us, is that we're in for a treat no matter what's going to happen these last 3 open/shootouts. So
absolutely.
But there's the picture right there, Alex Rawls. I mean, you want to talk about the roll game? The best thing about Alex Rawls' game right now is the blocker. He's one of these players who's coming out, he's firing blocks left and right, and he's controlling the center of the board better than anyone in the game right now. If one of those blockers goes off to the side a little bit, though, Justin Burton Jr., Devin Hardball, Jamie Graham, Caleb Batson, they are capable of winning a match 2-0, though.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to be consistent, you're going to have to be consistent the entire tournament. And let's see how many people are signed up. Looks like 70, close to 70 players that are signed up for this one. So that means you're going to have to be consistent for more than 2 or 3 games. So
yep.
Alex Rawls right now, he was on a heater coming off of national number 2. I did not like what I saw on the team's event. Now, with that being said, they already had the match in hand.
Yeah.
So maybe they were kind of goofing around a little bit and having some fun. But Alex Rawls, he's been there. He knows what to do. See if he can regroup. And then it's kind of weird to say the newest guy to these final few spots this year.
Graham.
Yeah, like he's back. All right. Are we done worrying about Jamie Graham? Because I was definitely worried about Jamie Graham after national number 1. I was right there with him. Bernie had a chance to talk to him in the hallway in Erie. He's told you about it before. There's something about that conversation that's just basically made Bernie a believer.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the boards, I'm seeing it firsthand. I'm a believer. Stephen Bernasette at the last national just was not going to be denied. The only players that shot better than Bernasette that whole day, I think, were on our court at least, were Jamie Graham and Matt Guy.
Mm-hmm.
So what I saw out of Jamie Graham, Steve Bernasette, and Matt Guy down to the final 3 there was remarkable. And I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Jamie Graham right now, basically national number 2 and beyond. So hopefully he can continue it on. I just want to see some great matches. And I think that this list that Bernie put together can do it. And, of course, he's watching all the ladies.
Who's going to do it?
All the single ladies, all the taken ladies, just all the ladies in general, I guess. That's what we're going for.
So Ryan said, I think Tony Smith should be on the list. Just remember, Tony Smith already got his singles title for a shootout. So that's why he's not on the list. So we're looking at people who have not yet won a shootout. And this list is shocking to me.
Yeah, I was going to make a side bet. Tony Smith will not win the shootout and see if he's going to take off on it.
You got that one on lock. Yeah, I think you're good. But the surprising amount of we got Cameron Belvin, Connie Altice, Kaylee Hunter, just some of the names off the top of my head I can remember that are signed up for this shootout. Yeti Irwan, so big names.
Yeah, good run
without a title.
Yeah, good run at the last national there from Brandy. So hopefully Brandy's kind of turning the corner a little bit, and then Belle's name is on the list. So not sure she's going to actually be there or not. Hopefully she will be. Haven't had a chance to talk to her, but I love what I see out of Yeti early on in the shootouts, and then it's just when it's like I don't know if this is what's going on in her head when you start thinking about making that broadcast. She starts to fall a little bit short. Kaylee Hunter was my pick to win back in Fort Worth, Texas. I haven't really seen any signs of her kind of slowing up. I have seen the other ladies throw better than she has, down the stretch in those final few games. Cameron Belvin, very, very close against Gina Ramirez. I mean, Gina was just meant to be. I mean, on her home turf, you know what I mean? Hitting that airmail.
But, serendipitous.
Connie Altice and Sarah Cassidy. I think we're in the same boat here with the ladies that we are with the men. We got 5 or 6 that could actually make it out, so we'll see.
Yeah, I've got a couple on my list, or at least one. I can't remember, but let's bring it up. So you said Caleb Batson would be on your list. He is on mine. Obviously, he's on fire right now. I can't wait to see him continue. And, the only person that got him in the last national was Fisher Hamilton, and Fisher Hamilton won the whole thing. So, that says a lot. Caleb Batson, I would be shocked if he does not take one of these remaining 3 shootouts. And it's be very possible that he would take this one with the run.
I feel like this one's his. I mean, he did the same thing in Texas this last weekend, so he's just continuing.
Yeah. However, Fisher Hamilton's also there. So, there's that to remember. Jacob Trzynski is playing phenomenally well right now. I mean, Tony Smith is obviously a name that we're focusing on, but Jacob is right there. So it's not like Tony's carrying the team. In fact, in the last national, I think Jacob actually carried the team a bit there on the broadcast. So super capable of taking a shootout. Had some unlucky breaks, playing really well, and just got up against people who were playing a little bit better. So all of the positive vibes going towards Jacob. I would not be surprised if he takes this one. I thought this was a couple fun doubles teams for switching it up. So Sam Finley and Stephen Bernadette, you were talking about Stephen Bernadette and how good he was. And so the fact that he's teaming up with Sam Finley, we know she already has the women's singles, one of them for the shootout. And we know how she shows up on the broadcast court. And, did she throw almost a perfect game, I want to say, in Miami? I mean, it was.
Miami, it was or Kansas.
No, oh, yeah, sorry, Kansas, the one before Miami. That's right. Miami was Rosie. She was the one right before it.
Yeah, from where I was sitting when I was DJing, I don't know if she missed much. I started paying attention. She didn't miss a single bag when I started paying attention, like round 3 or 4.
Just crazy.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Another doubles team that I'm curious about is Ethan Walker and Timmy Jonas. Ethan obviously had a great weekend in Portland, and then Timmy Jonas coming off of a win here at his state championships. So I'm not really sure where's Ethan from, Wally?
I believe Iowa.
Okay, so they're not in the same region, right? So I'm not sure how the team came together.
I mean, you never know. So I've seen a lot of people kind of posting on Facebook right now for, I believe, the one after this. So it's kind of like anyone need to pick up, and then boom, there you go. So I'm not sure if Morse can't make it, or maybe on the other side EA can't make it. I don't know, but
yeah,
it seems like whoever pairs up with Ethan Walker, they're in for a good run.
Absolutely, that's what I was thinking, and I think Timmy is a great partner for him. And obviously, Timmy has some experience being on the big stage, so interested in that. And then my female to watch there is Cameron Belvin. Obviously, got really close at the last one and ran into a red hot Gina Ramirez in Mesa. But I know Sarah Cassidy's there and Yeti Irwan's there and Connie Altice is there. So it's hard to say this is Cameron's to win. But man, I really feel like it's her time to grab one and get that first shootout title for this season. Because
I do got to say it because Bernie's not here now and he can't defend himself. I'm with you, Mish. Bag switches matter.
Oh no! Oh no!
Whenever you have to change bags, it matters. Okay, I don't
care
whose
fault
up. It is. It happens, and I felt bad for Hunter, and I felt bad for Cameron that they had to switch bags on broadcast. So hopefully, they've got that figured out, and they can make that a non-issue going forward.
For sure. And Brody, thank you. Newton, Iowa is where Ethan's from. Appreciate that.
Honorable mention to Brody and Hayden teaming up for the Open.
Oh, there we go.
We're not doing any Open stuff, but there you go.
Okay, cool. Good to know. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to start going to the brackets for the national in doubles. Welcome back. We are ready to dive into our last national and get into the doubles brackets. And then next Monday, we'll go into the singles brackets. So let's go ahead and get into it. Our first bracket A, is going to be just who we were talking about, Tony Smith and Jacob Trzynski. So if we look at this quadrant, I make this, there we go. Now we can see everybody. I don't know about you, Wally, but I think this is their quadrant.
I feel like the entire bracket is chalk. Like every
Really?
every quadrant, whenever we start getting into this, okay, the number 1 seed should win their quad. The number 2 should win theirs. The 3 should win theirs. The 4 should win theirs. So, yeah, Jake and Tony, I don't really see a top tier talent challenge for them until it comes down to possibly playing the number 4 seed Matt Guy and Jamie Graham. A team that could sneak up out of nowhere, though. You never know. Ty Lopez is always there for me. Like,
Yeah.
Ty Lopez is one of these guys. He could play with the elite levels. And what you get out of Eric on the other side might just be enough, but you never know. As far as this bracket, the little quadrant, though, I think it's chalk.
Okay, and then you mentioned Jamie Graham, Matt Guy down there in the bottom quadrant. You also have AJ Sims, Jaime Sanchez. Let's see, Florentino Mendoza and Gina Ramirez. I feel like made a pretty deep run in the last one, didn't they?
I was gonna say they always kind of upset somebody. Like who's gonna be the team that we're like, oh, how about that? You know, they're having a heck of a run, winning 2 games on the winner side and then dropping down the loser side. It seems like they always kind of finish, you know, either 3-2 or 2-2 or something like that. But they're making names for sure.
That's a tough match, though. Zachary Engelken and Christian Brown are good as well.
Yeah, bottom's a little bit tougher than the top, I think was, but you know, same thing we kind of get there with Ryan Hart and Zach Lewis. Never know what you're going to get out of them, but Ryan Hart's been on a tear.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we got your boy over here in the next quadrant. Ryan Wiedenfeld, Ryan Smith.
Yeah, Ryan Wiedenfeld is dominant until he has to put on a pro jersey, and then hopefully it's the right size. We kind of talked to him a little bit. I don't know if he had a chance to interview him about the jersey, but he's basically.
His mom told me that it's like too big, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. So struggling. So maybe he needs to do the sleeveless thing like Ryan Smith. That way the arms,
there you go.
shoulders don't bother him. Just take a page out of Smith's little page there. But again, kind of chalk. The one team that stands out to me here, though, Stephen Bernasette and Derek King. Yeah, love what I've seen out of Stephen Bernasette. Derek King, I have seen glimpses. I want to see a whole tournament. This would be a good time to break it out.
Don't write off Isidro Herrera and Jalen Jones. I feel like I'm beating the Isidro drum, but I just find this guy mesmerizing because he's just like pops in and does his thing, and dude, he's good.
Don't write off Kimberly Glass either. She's perfect game on TV. Come on now.
Yeah, that's no small feat. And then the bottom quadrant is going to be Kyle Malone and Jimmy Humans, but you've also got the Ryans in there. You got McGuffin Dennis in there. You got Soprenic Kingfisher, Getty Troxel. Man, this is a tough little quadrant right here.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when we were commentating the seniors bracket there at the end, Damon Dennis taking on Frank Modlin, I didn't think there was any way Damon Dennis was going to be double dipped, but Frank Modlin kind of turned it up to another level. But you're always seeing Jimmy McGuffin and Damon Dennis deep in the seniors division and throwing just remarkable. You know what I mean? We saw them at the very first shootout in Myrtle Beach, where the finals were played in Arizona. They went on a deep tear, and then it seems like they're always having great runs at nationals. So why don't we see them further along in the brackets? It's just kind of puzzling to me. But I don't know, Chat. Do you think I'm wrong, Chat? Is this a chalk bracket though? I mean, doesn't it look like it go 1, 2, 3, 4?
I kind of wonder, like, you know how some of the women, like Cheyenne, for example, plays exceptionally well in women's and plays great in singles, but it's just a different Cheyenne. Like, is there like some kind of weird effect with like the women and the seniors where like these guys are so good in the seniors that there's like a weird transition into the other divisions?
Well, the other thing, too, is it's a different vibe. You know, whenever you're playing in the seniors division, they're having fun. They're out there interacting with each other, joking around. They're even kind of pushing each other sometimes as they're walking down to get the bags out. You don't have that in doubles. It's a little bit more tight and, more serious. We have to be on our best behavior because everybody's watching us type stuff.
Yeah.
Just play loose, boys.
So if it is chalk, so then it would be Kyle Malone and Jimmy Humans versus Ryan Smith and Ryan Wienfeld right here. And who are you taking? Game 54.
Oh, man,
right?
You're making me pick right here on the spot.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I am going to go with Jimmy and Kyle in that one.
Okay, see, I
think
would go
it's
Smith Wiedenfeld, so that's cool. We're opposites.
I think it's going to go Kyle and Jimmy taking on Tony and Jake.
And then, okay, I agree. I mean, we talk about the fact that, Matt Guy and Jamie Graham, since they've been partners, have they ever not gotten a title?
I mean, what are we betting? It's 2 years, right?
Yeah, so 2021, 2022. Don't they have a title in each?
I think they do. And now I can't remember 2 years ago. It's a long time ago, Mish.
I want to say they have, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Like, okay, even if they haven't, wouldn't it be surprising if they don't get a national title?
I would say no, only because of how great the talent around them has gotten. I mean, we talked at the beginning of last season after that very first Chicago or Illinois where we're at open number 1, and Matt Guy was throwing nothing but 11s, high 10s, 11s the entire time. We're kind of like, nobody's going to beat him if he's throwing like this. And then since that moment, we've probably had 5-6 people finish over an 11, throwing in a tournament. So I think the rest of the field is kind of caught up to them in that throwing style. And then even added a few extra tricks on the side. So,
okay.
My pick to take down A bracket, I'm going with Kyle and Jimmy, only because Tony and Jake don't want me on their team for Worlds. So.
Oh, it's personal.
Personal.
All right, Tristan says, I'm sorry, I think Troxel gets past the 8th place bug and beats Kyle and Jimmy. That's over here. Matthew Troxel, Carson Getty. He thinks is going to take Isabella Sopranek, Cameron Kingfisher. Then they would have to play Kyle Malone and Jimmy Humans, assuming they win that one.
See, the one thing about Troxel and Getty in this situation here is there's basically my levels of pros, you know what I mean? There's the top hundreds. Every single person on their path is in the top 100. Yeah, I mean, so like that's a tough route to go through from them. The good news is if they are able to make it that far, they are geared up and ready to win that bracket. So
yeah, agree. They've got the toughest little quadrant to get through, so they're looking good coming into the king seat match there. All right, so your pick is Kyle Malone, Jimmy Humans to take down the A bracket. I'm sticking with Tony Smith and Jacob Brzezinski because I don't have anything personal going against me. And I feel like that is the easy pick there.
Yeah.
But like I said, it'd be really surprising not to have a Jamie Graham Matt Guy title, or at least be in the finals. It seems so unlikely based on their history. But like you said, different path today, different teams, different players. It's getting harder.
Yep.
Is Bella going to be there? I believe she's going to be there. I
haven't heard otherwise.
I haven't heard otherwise. That's a good way of putting it. So, all right, guys. So that's it for bracket A. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll go into bracket B. Welcome back to the ACL Live or Bracket Breakdown. We are on our last national and we are breaking down doubles. We're going to go into Bracket B. Wally, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
This one's not chalk. Not chalk.
Okay, so this one's a little different than
A
A.
little bit different, yeah.
And we were talking before we went live about which bracket we want on court one, right, Wally? So you're keeping your eye out?
Yeah. I'm kind of going through them and trying to see, because it's really hard whenever we try and figure out a live feed. Like, I can't just look at all these matches in the first round like, oh, this would be great, this would be great, this would be great. I kind of have to predict winners to be like, okay, if this is our first round matchup, who's our great second round matchup, who's our great third round matchup, and try and place it out to, where we have something interesting to even look at. So got my eyes open here. We're going to keep looking to see what we got for matchups here in Bracket B.
All right, so Dakota Sully and Nate Stevens are on my fantasy cornhole team.
That's so weird. That's who I was going to say keep an eye on in this section.
Okay, see, they're sneaky. But
great
JBJ, Logan Chamberlain, I mean, it's going to be difficult to even say, like, I wouldn't want to be in this person's quadrant because they're just all so difficult. But, man, that's one I wouldn't want to be in.
Yeah, I'm going to do a little motivating speech right here.
Okay, let's hear it.
I feel like there's something off with JBJ right now.
Oh, no.
So there you go. JBJ, there's your motivational speech. Prove me wrong. I don't know. I picked Logan Chamberlain to win our bracket, and I was kind of watching them play doubles, across the room and throughout the day. And I just felt like Logan Chamberlain kind of flipped a little bit. And now Logan Chamberlain is the alpha and JBJ is, A minus. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's not there. But I'm just saying, as far as like this number one dominating team in the world type thing, I feel like they kind of took a step back a little bit more on JBJ's side.
Which broadcast did JBJ not play well in? Which one was? I remember watching them.
Broadcast?
Yeah, broadcast. Was that a national or was that a shootout?
Man, I feel like it was a shootout, but I don't know if
I want to say it was a shootout as well.
Fisher and Gavin against Adam and Cody, right? In Dallas.
Man, I
think so, yeah.
Mushing together. No, it was one that I wasn't Fort Worth because I was there. And I was watching, and JBJ just was not performing. But man, I think it was Tony Smith and Jacob Jasinski he was playing, right? I
know what you're talking about. You're talking about Erie, I think.
Okay, maybe it was Erie.
First round in Erie because we had 4 doubles teams.
Oh, Brandon said national semifinals. Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, that was in Erie.
That's what it was. That I wonder if that shook him, because you have to remember his very first broadcast, the first national, everyone was like, wow, JBJ, like, how did you do this? Like, you're going on this big stage, you're gonna crumble. I mean, people weren't saying that, but they're probably thinking it, and he did not. I mean, he stepped up and he nailed it, and that obviously gave him a ton of confidence. But then that national semifinals, I wonder, when it didn't all come together, if that shattered a little bit of confidence.
Yeah, now with that being said, I still think JBJ and Logan Chamberlain can take down this quadrant. I am keeping my eye on Dakota and Nate, but it's kind of one of these things that one of these things we used to say about the young players all the time is they're just throwing bags in the hole and they don't know better. They don't know about losing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now JBJ knows about, because like the first national, he just, this is my first pro, event. I won the whole thing. He doesn't know any better but to win. And then national number 2, bam, hit him right in the face. Now Now there's another side of the coin. You could lose too, and he got a taste of what it feels like to win on broadcast. Now he's got a taste of what it feels like to lose in front of national television. So I don't know. I feel like they're just a little bit off. And of course, I'm not talking about an A or a D or a C. He's an A minus now. It's just not the same Justin Burton Jr. from national number 1 is what I'm getting at.
Okay, all right. And then going down to the next little quadrant over here, it's Ryan Windsor and Alex Hicks. You got the Kufi. You've got Holland Rule, who threw really well when I first saw them on the big stage at our court 1. But what are you thinking about this little section here?
A couple names stand out to me. Obviously, Windsor and Hicks, strong team. I do, for some reason, look at Holland and Rule and expect them to win this quadrant. So I'm going to go ahead and push them all the way through. I do love what I saw out of Mark Burgess in singles against Joe Niestedt on our court. I mean, he had Joe on the ropes, and somehow Joe escaped from that match. So if if Mark and Steve get on the same page, it could be another sneaky team. Always loved Dotson. Impressed with what I've seen out of Dolan this year. But I don't know. It's just I'm not going to go as far as Jeff and Bernie when it comes to Alex Hicks, saying there's something wrong with Alex Hicks. Like I I think he's good. I think he's still.
They alluded to the fact that you said that, but they didn't call you out by name.
I think that Alex Hicks is the best pusher in the game right now.
Yeah,
He's hitting penguins. He's hitting triple collects on sticky side. He's able to turn it over on slick side and angle the bag back a little bit. I mean, Alex is able to push. He's kind of gotten away from the roll this year, it seems like. So maybe that's why it's not so flashy. But Alex Hicks is having a great season, so I'm not going to dog him at all. But I don't know. I just maybe I'm fantasy biased here with Derek and Justin, but that's my pick.
Well, and I think their point was just that Jake Gore is playing better right now. That's the argument, right?
Yeah, and it is easy for us to make that small target on the number 2 player, extra big in the spotlight, in the media spotlight that we put on it. So it's like,
yeah,
what's wrong with Mark Richards right now? Devin Harbaugh's number 1.
Yeah.
Mark is there. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with Alex.
Yeah.
There's only 8 of them that we can go after. Oh, Fisher Hamilton's the best junior. Okay, yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
it's not like Alex has fallen off that far. I don't know. I'm not buying
right,
it.
for sure.
I
got you.
I'm still on board.
All right, going over to the other side. This is going to be easy and Tanner Halbert. And what's weird is that I feel like I actually am surprised they're at number 2. Like, I guess I've just never had them on our court, but I didn't realize they were winning so much because I just never saw them past, unless you were on their court, if that makes sense.
I want to say national number 1, they had the king seat, and then they lost twice to Wiedenfeld and Smith.
Okay, got it.
If I'm not mistaken. They were in the finals, I'm pretty sure. And then in national number 2, I'm pretty sure they had another deep run. I believe I was talking to Easy in the airport, and this one I think is the one they're throwing away, but I think it's like a 5 or 6.
Got it. Okay, so I just haven't seen them play. They've never been on our court.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, hey, well, I guess congratulations. That means you're guaranteed to be pro next year. You guys are already locked in the top 50. He's like, yeah, I guess so. We ain't done yet, though. We ain't done yet. So
yeah, valid.
Yeah,
but you got the Cobbs.
Your boys there, Harbaugh and Morales.
Yeah, Harbaugh Morales. I mean, it's surprising to see them there at 26.
Nah, they had to drop one.
What was that?
They got that 0 for the first one because they weren't teamed up for the first national.
Right, so they're going to obviously drop that. Yeah. And I don't know where that puts them after that because I'm not sure where they placed after that. But Streaker Finley at 7, and they deserve it. They're playing really well.
The one thing I was going to say about Harbaugh and Morales is they've lost their first match in the first 2 nationals they played together.
Oh, they got to battle it back.
This is no cakewalk.
It is not.
So it could happen again.
I mean, maybe that's a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're still finishing in the top 10 or top 5 in their brackets or something. So they're doing good, but got to get that first game jitters out of their way. It doesn't really get easier after that, though.
No, it does not. It does not. All right, and then in the last little section here, this is going to be Birchfield Rawls. You've also got Cobb Costanza, who I feel like played really well the last time we saw them, and
Ashton Spees also and Sarah Cassidy.
I was just starting to say that.
They're clicking very well. Very well.
And Kimbrel Rozier are too.
Yep.
I don't think it's locked in this little section.
Yeah, if I were going to take this bracket, I would love to see Cobb, Costanza, Kimbrel, and Rozier on the first matchup because I am loving what I'm seeing out of Blaine and Jordan and the Tyler and Kobe that we got at the last national on our court. I believe they defeated Mark and Phil, right?
I do not remember.
I feel like they were on our court for either 1 or maybe 2 matches, and they were top tier. Yeah, it was Mark and Phil because Tyler kept saying, I don't know why he keeps trying to block me. And he was hitting all the shots. So, hey, he backed it up.
There you go.
But, which Tyler, which Kobe are we getting? The one I saw in where we're at Portland. Love it. Mm-hmm. Love it. So hopefully we get them again.
Absolutely. So, if this, I mean, this to me can play out so many ways on this right side. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it's Devin Harbaugh, Nico Morales, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Streaker Finley that comes out at the end of this section here. I think that they're totally capable. And then on the left side, you picked Holland Rule.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then JBJ and Logan Chamberlain, I would assume. I see JBJ and Logan Chamberlain being in the king seat here if we get the same team that we've been getting with JBJ playing his top game.
Yeah, I got JBJ and Logan losing to Tanner and Easy in the King Seat match for bracket B.
Oh, interesting. All
Yeah, so
right. Well,
kind of chalk, but not as chalk because I feel like there's going to be some sleepers in the other quadrants.
yeah, for sure. All right, taking a quick break, then back with bracket C right after this. We are back, and we've been talking about our fourth national happening next weekend, getting into the doubles. And Wally, I don't know if you saw in the chat, but Josh Holland calling for Ashton Spees to win his quadrant over there.
It's doubles, though. What about Sarah? Is he going with her? Is
Yeah,
he
wait a
going
second.
with her, or is he only going with Ashton? I need to know.
Are you picking the doubles team, or are you going into singles, in which we're talking about next week, Josh?
Single-handedly going to win the whole thing.
Single-handed. She's not going to get 1 point, apparently.
Yeah, no, that's a bold pick, though. I mean, I do think that Ashton and Sarah are making good runs, and not just making good runs, but deserving good runs. They're throwing really well. I like
Absolutely. All right, it's bracket C time, and I don't know about you, but I would not want to be in this quadrant. This is brutal.
This is what I was talking about as far as, okay, first round matchup, second round, third round. It's all right here in this little quadrant. I wouldn't mind seeing any of this. I mean, Eric Anderson and Timmy Jonas, I haven't seen at all, but everyone keeps talking about how great of a season they're seeing. I would like to watch it.
And they just won the state championships.
Yeah, so they're on Faisha. Now, I haven't been paying attention. Do all the brackets have a bye with the number 1 seed?
That's going to be the PDC, right?
Yeah. Have all the other brackets had it so far?
Oh, yes, I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't pay attention. I missed it.
Let's see. Hold on.
My bad.
Yes, and yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, I kept thinking about some of the teams that made it out of the PDC at the last national. I kind of want to give them a shout out real quick. You know, Tanisha, Carter Bennett, just a couple that stand out to me there. Vincent Frisch and Adrian Brunson. So, yeah, who knows who's coming out of the PDC? It looks like we're getting quite a few players. But with that being said, I do still like Mark and Phil. I don't see them slowing up, but this is definitely a tough quad to go through. Do you think they make it all the way out? I'm leaning towards no.
Man, it's so hard to ever bet against Mark and Phil, but Sutton Frazier playing great, Wooten Thorne playing great, Clemmer Almanza playing great, Anderson Jonas playing great. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I believe Clemmer got second in doubles, and I believe Almanza got second in singles for their state championships. So hopefully that just outside looking in kind of gets a little hunger of them. I'm looking at Duncan and Noah coming out of the squad.
Okay. They're definitely due. And then what's this? What's this at number 4?
I'll say, speaking of people that like this whole entire bracket is people that don't get to watch. Like I would like to watch all these people. I mean, congratulations to Bobby Hunt, you know, earning the number 4 spot. And Trey's there.
The Hunts, let's go. I mean, Turpin Franklin is going to be a tough team. Ferreira Johnson, tough team. Zaft Hadley, tough team. I mean, I don't really know what to think about this little
There you
section.
go again, counting out Donald.
Oh, the cup.
You never count out Donald.
Hey, I'm taking Donald in senior matches all day.
I have to go. I have to go with Turpin and Franklin, and it's not
Right.
even a sympathy thing. It's like they're so good,
So
and they're
good.
consistent. They're consistent. Like, how do they not have a bracket yet?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think about? So let's just say they would have been the 4th seed here, which you would think would be more likely, right? Would you rather play McClam Vojanov or Beach Holland?
Yeah, I think it's probably better that they are in the 5 seed. I like their route this way a little bit better. Not sure which Cody or Mike we're gonna get. I mean, broadcast Cody Johnson's different, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Getting to broadcast Cody, that's the problem. Like, I'd like what I've seen out of Mike the few times I've seen him on broadcast court, but I don't know. Dalton looked really good when we had him on there. Doug Zaft and Bill Hadley early on the brackets is a tough route to go through. So I kind of like them better at a 5 seed, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Valid. All right, over to the other side. Hisner Henderson. They're not going anywhere. But you've got Chibi Landis. You've got Hector Parham. I mean, Belvin Altice had a good run at the last national.
Yeah,
but
Shibby and Landis, I think, are their only real obstacle on this side for how well Adam and Cody are throwing. They're at the top of their game again. I love what I'm seeing. Shibby and Landis, though, I believe they got to the king seat and had it for a while in Erie.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had to sit for a little bit, got double dipped. But I like the pairing this year. They're throwing very, very well. Just not sure anyone can take down Adam and Cody on this side. We'll see.
I agree. I think it's theirs. And then we get down to Foreman Creek Killer, but you've also got Labrador Williams, Fuentes Brown, Rawls Kingsbury, Blanton Mayball. I mean, these are all teams that are showing up.
Yeah, I might be calling a 30 versus 3 upset here. I don't know why. I'm taking Sissy and Elizabeth in match number 1 there.
What?
Yep.
What is going on right now?
Shake up the bracket, just the difference in throwing styles. It's just so simple for them. Just put bags down the middle in the hole. Early Jacob and Matthew Creekhill do struggle a little bit. That could be sneaky. But I think what I'm really trying to do here is clean up a path for Alan and Chris Kingsbury at the bottom.
Yeah.
And if they take on Jake and Matthew at the top, I feel like that could be a really fun and entertaining match. We saw a little bit of it in Topeka. But I do think Alan and Chris come out of this quadrant here. I love what I'm seeing out of them. Bracy and Tony, they're kind of all over the place as far as one's throwing really good. They're never on the same page, it seems like. I want to see them both put together a complete game at the same time whenever it matters.
Well, they're the 11th seed, so they're not playing too bad.
That's what I'm saying, though. They're like basically blowing people out. They're not really winning the close ones against some elite teams that they need to. So I want to see them put it together in an important match that matters. But yeah, I'm sticking with Alan Rawls and Chris Kingsbury. So Sissy and Elizabeth, make me look good. Take them out early. That way
you're picking them. So what about when they meet Hisner Henderson? So that would be over here.
That's what I'm trying to do. I can't help but think about the TV time chant where Creek Killer was taking on Cody in Fort Worth, and Cody just kind of talked his way into that.
Yeah.
So if it is going to be Adam and Cody against Alan and Chris, I do think that Chris has a better mindset for that because Chris was able to take him down.
Okay.
So let's go with Chris and Alan on the right side. Left side, who did I take on the bottom? Or did
Lopez Richards and Turpin Franklin.
Yeah, I'll go with Turpin Franklin with Turpin Franklin to win. How about that?
Oh, I like it. Okay. Well, you did say Clemmer Alonza might get out of this quadrant, so that could be some interesting matches over here in the king seat. But
let's go, Kevin. I like Kevin in the chat. Says, can't wait to make you look bad. Let's go, Chris Day.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, we're here for that kind of energy. I like it. I mean, I'm definitely here for it.
See, deep down, we're motivating you guys is what it is.
That's right. Yeah, we don't have any like strong attachment to anything or strong beliefs. It's just conversation, and some of the pros will take it and be like, "I will show you," and some need to work on the mindset. Right? Let's not get offended. Let's actually take it and run with it and make us look stupid. We're all here for it.
There's nothing better than somebody pointing over like after a match, like, "Told you." Like
Yeah.
right
No,
now,
exactly.
Cheyenne is on that top 20 player bubble.
Yep.
And like, I'm not rooting against Cheyenne, but everyone's like, dude, if she wins this, she's in your top 20. I'm like, good. I want her to be in the top 20.
Yeah.
But then I'm like on the other side, but if she loses though, she's 21 or something. You know what I mean?
And then you look smart. Is that what this is about?
No, I'm just saying it's kind of fun that people kind of call us out whenever we're not right all the time. It's
Yeah.
like there's 300 some players. Like, how am I going to get right all the time?
If you do, then yeah, you're pretty special. All right, quick break. Back with Bracket D right after this. Welcome back. We are in our last bracket here for our last national coming up next weekend, talking about singles next Monday. So tune in for that. But we will finish up with our last bracket. And this is Grindersleeve Batson's bracket. And man,
Deadly.
Deadly.
Bracket D is deadly. I found my bracket, Mish.
Deadly. All right.
I found my bracket. This is the one I want. Yep. There is some great first round, second round, third round potential semifinals. This is the one I'm going to put the request in for. So I have to get a glimpse of Caleb Batson right now. He's on fire.
Okay.
Yep. Eddie Grindersleeve and Caleb Batson. They were guests on our show. Usually it translates into winning. I'm just saying.
Why wouldn't it? Yeah, it makes sense. By the way, if you have not listened to that interview with Batson and Grindersleeve on Baggin' and Braggin', terrifying that Batson just started really practicing in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah, how do you get that good? Just really not caring or nonchalant in a way. You know what I mean? Like, it's.
I don't know. I mean, he obviously cares once he gets to the tournaments, but yeah, like in between, just being a normal teenager, I think is such a healthy lifestyle. Like, I love that for him, that he was just living his teenage life.
And then good on him for focusing on school and stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah, he totally did, and I think that's amazing. And now that he's done, he's like, all right, time to focus on this, and I'm here for it. But holy monkeys.
That's what I was going to say too. I was definitely going to say holy monkeys.
Yeah. No,
so we had Josh Holland in the chat picking Ashton Speed. Is he picking himself to win this bracket? That's what I want to know. So if you're still there, Josh.
Hey, by the way, shout out to Josh Holland. Yes. I don't know who nicknamed him the potato, but I'm loving the personality in the chat. I disagree with this name.
Josh Holland's always good as far as on the keyboard. Like, he's always interactive when it comes to these shows.
All right. I like it. Good on you, Josh. All right. Back to this bracket. You got Josh Holland and Nate Boyer. In this bracket, you got Terry Mathis, Derek Singleton versus Brandon Jones and Travis Purser. You got Schrader and Karnick, who had a nice deep run, probably because I benched them on my fantasy team. So that makes sense. Why wouldn't they?
Do it again.
Do it again. I bet they'd appreciate that. That's what Nate Stevens said to me in Erie, I was like, man, why are you playing so well? I benched you. He's like, that's probably why I'm playing so well. Like, dang it.
Yeah, it's all us. I do
It's
want to highlight one team here. The number 17 seed Terry Mathis was one of the top, if not the top PPR player in Portland, as far as I believe doubles or maybe singles goes. I can't remember what it was, but he was leading the way by a lot, and he was just continuing to put bags in the hole. Derek Singleton, you're on your own home turf, buddy.
all right, here we
If
go.
you're getting this version of Terry Mathis and you're playing at home, getting a chance to sleep in your own area, in your own bed, I want an A game from you guys. I mean,
He's that
obviously,
close? He's like sleeping his own home close?
I don't know. I mean, depends on how long you want to drive on doubles day. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But what I'm seeing out of Terry Mathis, Derek, you're close. You got to represent Detroit and then or Michigan rather, and then your tough first matchup there. Travis Purser, I believe, took down the Carolina Conference, didn't he? In singles,
Did he? Man, you know what?
I
When
think he
we
did.
recorded around the ACL this morning and I read off what felt like 100 names, I can't even tell you what I read.
So either way, yeah, strong players in this squad, just to say the least. I mean, I think this is going to be a tough one. No matter who comes out of it, they're going to deserve it. I'm not going away from Eddie and KB until
I can't. No, you're
until they
right. I
prove me
can't.
wrong.
Until they prove me wrong. Agreed. All right, the Gores. Jake Gore went on a tear at his state championships. And Jackson a little bit off. But can he get the confidence from his brother, I guess? But first match, Chad Hunt, Andrew Guy, not an easy team either. And then in this same bracket, you got Ian Cripps and Zachary Stickney. You've got Jay Ruben, Jordan Power. You got Michael Lucas Jr., Michael Dinges. I mean,
That's the first matchup I want right there. I want Jaden
which
Jordan
one?
against Michael and Michael.
Okay.
Yep, I think that's going to be a great match that could possibly start things off in the 25 rounds. You know, with some nice cuts there coming from Michael Lucas, some rolls from Dingus, Ruben continue to hit air mills, and Jordan doing his little shimmy, getting fired up on
That's true.
Michigan.
That'd be entertaining.
You know what I mean? I want this one. I want that one.
All right, Josh Holland says that Nate Voyer said he's going to carry me to the driver's seat game so we can get our payback on Kano and the fish.
Whoa, mapping. Spoiler alert. Who's on the other side of the bracket?
That's up here. And so what he's saying is they're going to get this quadrant and they're going to, boom, run into these guys.
Okay.
Kano.
I'm going with Gores on the bottom left, by the way.
Say that again?
I'm going with the Gores on the bottom left.
You're picking the Gores. Yeah, I think it's hard not to.
Jackson's back to Jackson. Gore. I'm sorry, Jake is Jake.
Correct. But in Hamilton Kano's bracket, even though Josh Holland's picking them to win it, you got Maudlin Bubenheim and Guy Davis. I mean, This is not simple.
Yeah, not sleeping on them at all. I mean, we talk about good second round, possibly even third round matchups there. I like Fisher and Gavin against either Brett and Eric or Frank and Cheyenne, or who knows if there is a sleeper. They deserve their TV time too. So I would love to see this third round matchup. I don't know what match that would be. 20 or slide over just a little bit. 43.
43. Yeah.
So I'd like the little 43 match where it starts kind of shaping itself out. But Fisher and Gavin, you got to take your hat off to them. They are just deep in every bracket, every format. Doesn't matter if it's shootout, regular opens, nationals. They are deep and they deserve that number 2 spot. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have a deep run in this bracket. And if it does happen where it's Holland and Voyer, even though Holland and Voyer are on my fantasy team, I'm going to have to go with Fisher and Gavin.
Oh, that's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then over here, you got Schermerhorn and Niestead. But you got the Zazuetas. You've got Poitras and Hunter. You've got Gilbert, Gonzalez, and Kevin Whitaker playing really well. I haven't seen Brent Smith play much at all, so I can't speak to him. But
yeah, I believe Whitaker missed Erie, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, got it.
So that's why they're coming in as number 27 seeds out of the PDC qualifier. Now, luckily for them, they did both make it out of the PDC at national number 1. So they already have their doubles points there from the national number 1. So
interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
So they're still kind of lucky in that regards, but I mean, man, missed a valuable opportunity there to get a second and even a third national as far as pairings coming out of the PDC players goes. But loved what I saw the Sasuetas and Mesa at the Open. You can never go wrong with Schermerhorn and Niestead again, Michigan, home turf.
Yeah.
what are we going to get? Which version are we going to get? I feel like they we talked about Justin Burton Jr. and Logan Chamberlain taking that one on the chin in Erie. The other side of that was, I believe, Mark and Phil doing the same thing to Joe and Jeremy.
Correct.
So they came out of that one with both of their heads down and just contemplating hanging the bags up, just being done. So
I think Joe and Jeremy want that broadcast so bad being in Michigan. I mean, whether they want to admit it or not, and I don't know if that's helpful or hurtful because
I was just gonna say,
they play loose, right? They're like the
Yep.
team that says we play loose. So if there's added pressure of I want to make this broadcast bad, does that change the dynamic?
The good news is Courtney and Nicole, I think, are going to give them a pretty good match, which is going to kind of like wake them up in a way. You know what I mean? It's going to smack them. Like, hey, we cannot take this match lightly.
Don't sleep.
Yeah. So Courtney and Nicole are a good, tough first match to get you going. I'm not saying Courtney and Nicole could win that one or should win that one, but if they get smacked early and kind of, hey, we got to do this. The second game there with Jay and Josh or Ryan and Connor should be, all right, we're moving in the right direction now. Let's get into it. And I do think that they have a leg up on those bottom teams. So they should win this quadrant to get them to the Final Four. At that point, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, so that would put them against, we're saying, Hamilton, Kano, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's...
So, yeah, so my Final Four in this bracket, Grindersleeve, Batson, Gore, Kano, Hamilton, Neisted, Schermerhorn.
And yes. I gotta say though, I'm picking Hamilton Kano over Schermerhorn Neisted, which puts them against. Go to this side, and then are you going Grindersleeve Batson or Gore?
I'm taking the Gores to win this whole bracket.
You're taking the Gores to win the whole bracket. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm on board for Court 1 being bracket D. I think this is going to be a fun bracket, and if the Gores do take it, that will be so much fun to be a part of and to be, to watch. So I'm here for it, Wally.
Yeah, I do got to give a shout out though to Ian Cripps and Zach Stickney. I love what I'm seeing out of Ian Cripps this year. I just don't understand why.
He also took the sweep, right, at States?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, so shout out to him. I mean, I haven't watched you guys' show yet, but it hasn't aired yet. But I don't know who all won all these states and conferences. It seems like it's crazy to me that they're going this far into the season. Like, I don't know. I feel like you'd want to get that out of the way early. That way your players have the points going into the opens. You know what I mean? But,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's just good matchup after good matchup in here. Whenever you start looking at the teams that could finish in like the top, 20 in this bracket and you go to the loser side, I think we're going to get some great matches over on the loser side of this bracket too. So,
agreed.
Yeah, sign me up for bracket D. Haven't had a chance to look at singles yet, but I think I get to make that call.
So, I think you do. I'm pretty sure you get first choice. So bracket D it is. So, what a fun broadcast that would be if the Gores make it. If let's see, who else did we say?
Eddie and KB, Fisher and Gavin, or the hometown boys in Michigan.
Yeah, that'll be. Yeah, I think you're totally on point there. All right, guys, we are all out of time here. Look forward to the shootout and the open up coming up this weekend in Ramsey, Minnesota, and the next weekend, our last national in Detroit, Michigan. Join us on Monday for the remainder of our bracket breakdown with singles. But other than that, happy birthday to Bernie, and hope you're having a great birthday night. Thanks, Wally, for stepping in, and everyone have a great night.